This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. The lead stories are Elon Musk makes a bid to buy Twitter. NFTs, what are they really worth? North Korea hackers steal $600 million in crypto. And TikTok is now the world's most downloaded app. I want to welcome you to episode 1598 of the Geek News Central podcast for Thursday, April 14th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider by becoming a podcast insider. I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners and viewers of the show. Thank you very, very much. Get over to geeknewscentral.com. When you're on the website, you can follow or subscribe to the podcast right on the right-hand column. You get signed up for my newsletter as well. That's right there for you to take advantage of so that you can stay abreast of everything going on with the show. You can always join our chat room as well at geeknews.chat or our Discord channel as well. Those links will be in the show notes. As always, you can contact me via email, geeknews@gmail.com or at geeknews on Twitter. Of course, you can search for my name on Facebook as well. All the partner shows of this podcast are listed at geeknewscentral.com, whether it be the new media show, the Gadget Professor, Mr. Don Bain, the GNC Weekend Review with Kurt Curlis and Scott Ertz. Definitely check those shows out. We definitely want you to do that. Of course, there is a retired show called Podcast Legends that's also there as well. We want to thank all of you for being here. And of course, this show is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of podcasts. That's our good friends at GoDaddy.com. This is where you can save lots of money by using my promo codes. We start off with a 30% discount code that you can use on almost any product or service at GoDaddy. Also, $4.99 for a new .com or transfer domain for new customers only. And the two best hosting deals really on the planet, $1.99 a month. Economy hosting for the first year with a free domain and $2.99 a month. Managed WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain name as well. Again, get those two hosting deals. The managed WordPress hosting is just a little bit easier for new folks. They take care of backups and all the security updates. The $1.99 a month economy hosting has a little more variety of things that you can do with the account, setting up e-commerce and a whole variety of other products and services. Of course, you can always do a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal business or business plus plans. Those are a 1-month free trial. But again, that 1 year at $1.99, $24 plus the free domain, that's the way to go. You know, Geek News Central listeners save an average of 94% per purchase on GoDaddy hosting accounts and an average of $3.50 on GoDaddy domain names. All these codes work. They're validated weekly. Definitely check them out. Utilize the promo codes. Share them with your friends, family members, people that you know. Do not write it on the bathroom wall, but we definitely appreciate any time you link to this page via any of your social media accounts. This is the place where you can support the show. It's just like writing a check when you recommend one of our products or services that we have with GoDaddy and one of my coupon codes. So use them liberally, have fun with them. And again, your support keeps this podcast online and the independent writing team employed. You're supporting a small team of independent content creators by using one of our promo codes. So we thank you for your support. Share those codes. Again, definitely appreciate it as you do. And thanks, GoDaddy, for being a longtime sponsor here at the Geek News Central podcast. So everybody, how you doing? How's life? How's life treating you? Hope everything's going good. Kind of crazy here, to be honest with you. Getting ready to head out to Vegas late next week. So full-on planning for that. Other stuff going on, just keeping me busy as well. Been checking on my Starlink shipment status. It hasn't shipped yet, so they got my money, so I hope that ships soon. So that is forthcoming. But on a sad note, last night we were informed that my Uncle Don, lifetime patriarch of the family, had passed away. and he leaves an extensive family of sisters, and of daughters, and just a huge number of grandchildren, great grandchildren. So very, very sad to hear this. My Auntie Bev, obviously very shook up about this, and I don't know what's going to happen when the funeral is going to be arranged or visitation, but that will definitely take some priority on my part. And but if everything is planned, if everything goes, and we don't have the dates or times yet, but if it impedes Monday's show, there'll be no Monday show. I'll be going to the visitation and the funeral. So just to let you know that, and but otherwise everything here is going good. Sadly, we were with him this past Saturday, and they were there celebrating my mom's 80th birthday. You just don't know. It's just like TikTok, and then the next thing is someone is gone. It's quite devastating, and it's the first death in the family in quite some time. So anyway, that's what's happening here, and just kind of catch you up on what's going on. So again, my condolences go out to my cousins and my auntie and my second cousins, all that. But anyway, enough on that. Let's go ahead and move into the core of the show here tonight, and it really starts off by the story that it's just blown. I mean, the tech coverage on Elon Musk offering to take Twitter private in a deal of $43 billion, and land-basing management saying he's a person who can unlock extraordinary potential of a communications platform used daily by more than 200 million people is huge. According to Bloomberg, Elon said he will pay $54.20 per share in cash, 38% above the price on April 1st, the last trading day before Musk went public with his stake. Twitter's company shares were a little changed at $45.81 on Thursday, a sign there's skepticism that one of the platform's most outspoken users will succeed in his takeover. Now, the Guardian reporting the $54.20 offer price included the number 420 and what appears to be a reference to the number used as code for cannabis. And the Guardian also noted in 2018, when Elon Musk offered to take Tesla private, he offered to buy the shares he did not already own for $420 a share. So, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think he is very, 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 very serious. I saw him on a TED Talk today discussing this, and what he says, a lot of it makes a lot of sense. He wants to put the logarithm part of the code on GitHub so people can see what causes people's posts to be driven down, hidden, censored. He wants to have actions shown when someone's tweet is removed, and why, and the purpose. And so he's got some good ideas, and we'll see. I think it's going to be fascinating, to be honest with you. And I wonder if Twitter is going to accept the offer. I don't think they'll have much of a choice. If they refuse, he's already indicated he has a plan B, and the plan B, really all he has to acquire is 30 to 40% of the stock, and he'll essentially be completely in control. So I think we'll see what happens here with this. And I would be very, 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 very shocked if the board of directors approved it, but they've got a fiduciary duty to the stockholders, and at $54.20, that's a significant bid for the company. And I think that he's serious in picking it up. So time will tell what happens with this, but it's blown the airwaves out completely. He didn't say it was he did not say this. He said this was a friendly offer. I thought that was interesting wording. Some people have been liking this to a hostile takeover, but he says so far it's friendly. When the question is what happens when it goes hostile? And what happens if he happens to team up with someone else that has some of the stock that is of the same liking, same thought process? It could be an interesting ride. Now, I know that a lot of people hold stock in Twitter and we're in it for the long haul, but they have been really poorly managed for a long time, and the company really has not flourished. But what's left? If you think about it from a communications platform, Facebook is essentially untouchable. It's going to take a massive group to go in and buy Facebook. Then all these other communication venues have been wrapped up. All the actual communication companies like HBO and all those groups, they've all been ate up. So what do you have? You've got little old Twitter sitting out there by themselves. Now, they may be on the phone with everybody they know and their brother saying, help us, come buy us, make us an offer. But I don't think that these big companies are going to be able, with the current political environment, I don't think they're going to be able to go in, and another media company is going to be able to go in and buy this. Now, the case in point with Elon doing this is he doesn't own any media companies. He owns a rocket company and a car company. So it's not like he's going to have an issue with having competing interests and so forth. So time will tell whether or not this goes through. It's going to be fun to watch. I was amazed today, but there is a whole subset of people that are absolutely freaking out. Oh, this is the end of the world. And I found it quite ironic that some people from the Washington Post were saying no billionaire should control a mass media platform like Twitter. Well, who is your boss? Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. It's just like, come on. You can't have it one way or the other. And Elon is very, very, very pro free speech. And during the TED Talk that he was on, he said, hey, listen, you have to follow the rules within each country's, the laws of each country. You have to, you can't threaten someone, or you can't say, the Barnes building down or something like that. You can't, there's certain things you can't do. So he just wants to have it publicly known when something is voted down or trended down, why it was removed, why the algorithm took it out of the timeline, all those things. It is pretty amazing what they have built over there, but at the same time, I think a lot of it's just like Facebook. We don't completely trust, and if you have a system is open, the code's been subject to review. If that's what he truly will do, I think it's pretty amazing. I think it would be remarkable. And we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So what say you? What's your verdict? What do you think about Elon making a run on Twitter and the potential of taking it private? I think it's exciting. We'll see. This next topic is an interesting one. We've talked about non-fungible tokens on this show, NFTs. And we know that last year, a NFT was paid by Jack Dorsey's first tweet. It was something like $2.7 million or something like that. And he's been trying to sell it. Now, he paid $2.9 million for it. And the highest offer he's been given is $6,200. So it looks to me like this guy bought something that really maybe had no tangible true value. I think a lot of it is, from the public's perspective, is they don't fully fully understand, what they're buying. And it's an interesting move. And with only $6,200 coming in to bid on this, he probably will be stuck with it. He won't sell it. I don't know if the value. Now, if you had the ability to buy art, and be the owner of art, that's a physical piece of, if you buy a painting, that's a physical investment, something that you can, that could evaluate or devaluate over time, depending on the artist. If you own some of the early, some of the artists that's in museums, and I don't try to be anyway an art purveyor, because I'm not. I think some of it looks cool, some of it looks stupid, but it's all in the eye of the beholder. So when people spend money for art, there's usually an intrinsic value and there's a marketplace. I don't think the NFTs have much of a marketplace yet, because it's not something you hold in your hand per se, and it's just, it's text. So is there value in just text? Now, if you had the Declaration of Independence, the original draft, now that's worth some money, right? That's a physical document that you hold. I don't know about this NFT stuff. So it makes me wonder if this will be a value. Now, let's put it in another context. The painting of a Mona Lisa, obviously very valuable. But what if Mona Lisa did a tweet? Would that be of value? I don't know. I'm thinking. I just don't think there is. It's just like card collectors. If you're a card collector, some cards out there are very, very valuable. You get a Mickey Mantle signed, grade A or whatever it is, top level card. That's worth some money, right? To those that are card collectors. I'm not a card collector. So for me, it's like, to me, the value is about the value of the printed paper. So I think it's all, again, in the eye of the beholder. So I don't know. What do you guys think about NFTs? Love to hear your thought on that as well. The FBI believes North Korea hacker cells behind last month's $600 million crypto heist. The U.S. Treasury Department placed the Lazarus Group under sanction for its actions. And they believe this crypto, Ethereum, went into North Korea. And the group that it was stolen from is still trying to shore up their software. Blockchain that wasn't supposed to be hackable or whatever. So, I guess the North Koreans will have a little money to spend through the crypto market. Should not become as any surprise, TikTok is the most downloaded app worldwide in 2022 so far. The social media app has surpassed more than 3.5 billion total downloads. That is incredible. That's a big number. It's a really, really, really big number. No other app has made more total downloads than TikTok since the start of 2018. The second most downloaded app was Instagram with 151 million. So big, big separation there, right? And, of course, Meta, the company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, had 3 of the top 5 most downloaded apps. But again, TikTok is rocking it. Now, HBO Max made the top 5 most downloaded in the United States in January and was the second overall last month. So, apps come up and come down, but TikTok is just rocking it worldwide. The official time machine that's available to all of you. If you want a time machine, just get TikTok and then start swiping. How many of you have heard about Eboo? IBBU. It's called the Eboo app. Eboo is a place where you can basically almost like be an independent salesperson. Well, Samsung.com sales reps say the system makes them work for free. Independent contractors are pushed to handle customer service without compensation. So this is all through this independent workforce on Eboo, where they get paid commissions for sales. But it appears that not only are they being used for salespeople, they're also being used as customer support when they're really not trained. Think Apple Genius Bar, but by experts that really are not experts, aka Samsung reps. But a dozen Samsung.com sales agents tell The Verge that they're expected to do support anyway. They claim the company's trying to have it both ways. Samsung gets free customer service and an increasing desperate sales team, meaning that they were making money before. Now they're not making much money because they're having to do so much support. So Samsung talks about it being an expert knowledge base. The Eboo chat is for online shopping, looking to connect with our experts. The expertise and purchase on the Samsung site. At times, visitors might slip your way and need product support or orders or warranty support. So they're being told they're supposed to not do this, but they're being forced to. So any of you have any experience with IBBU, Eboo? If you are, I'd love to hear from you and what you're doing with Eboo. And if you're making any money with this platform. This lady said that originally she was making $800 to $1,200 a week during COVID, and it was good money. But now it's just dried up. And she actually had quit her job to work this full time as a teacher's assistant. So I'd love to hear from any of you that are using Eboo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right or not, but anyway. In his first Amazon shareholder letter, CEO Andy Jassy talks AWS, Prime, and labor. AWS is growing. Prime is trying to move products faster, and labor market is tight. That's the substance of the letter. Nothing about their union challenges. But if you're interested in Amazon business and what they're doing, the letter's available. Link will be up in the show notes for you to check it out. Now, some of you that are religious in nature, you know that anytime anyone talks about using some sort of way to put a device in you to do payments is not a positive thing. But a tech company proposes NFC Body Implant for e-payments. You know, honestly, where's the problem? How come I can't just use my phone? WalletMore has a compact solution to simplify NFC payment problems, implanting a microchip the size of a rice grain into your hand. Obviously, you can perform this action with a smartphone or a e-wallet card. So what would motivate someone to use such an implant? According to WalletMore, some people think there's a convenience factor. If payment terminals have the NFC receivers at the right location, paying could be as simple as holding the device in your hand. The same NFC implant could also unlock your phone, computer, and other devices. Industry calls that security by proximity. Not me. You're not implanting something like that into me. The company says it only takes 15 minutes to have the implant installed under local anesthesia. And the total healing time is about 4 weeks. I just don't know if that is propelling enough, and some of you religious in nature will say no. And I understand. But would you be willing to have a chip put in you to pay for stuff through NFC? Now, sadly, some folks don't have cell phones. Some folks are very in a situation where economics may not allow them to have a cell phone. Maybe they don't even have a landline. Maybe they have internet if they're lucky. But how do you call 911 without a cell phone? I think most of you that listen to the show probably know this already, but there's really kind of two options. But again, you need to have internet connectivity. One would be Skype, and the other one would be Zoom Phone. Now, I don't know how many of you know Zoom Phone, but my company uses Zoom Phone. All of our calls are routed through Zoom Phone, and it works pretty good. And they've got a desktop Zoom Phone app, but we pay for that service. You can enter your emergency address for the E911 in Zoom. I think you can do it also for Skype. But, if you need to call 911, you need to do it in a hurry. But most of you do realize that if you have a cell phone that's not connected, if you have an old mobile phone that's not connected to a paid service, you can still use that phone to call 911. It'll still dial 911, a cell phone with no mobile service whatsoever. So I don't know why they didn't cover that in this. I think that would be a lot easier to have an old phone that just, if you need to call 911, you could. You may have to tell them where you are and all that. I don't know how that works. I think it connects you to the closest 911 when you're not on a mobile plan. But just be aware, you can use Skype and you can use Zoom Phone to call 911 as long as you put your e-address in there so that E911 will work. Honda has announced that it will retire the hybrid Insight to focus production on its core models. The Honda Insight was first released in 1999 and immediately gained a passionate following among car enthusiasts. It was a Civic Hybrid before there was officially a Civic Hybrid. However, the Insight stays of being the single most fuel-efficient gas-powered vehicle on the road that doesn't plug in or coming to a close. Despite record sales of more than 100,000 electrified vehicles that EVs and hybrids in 2021, Honda on Thursday announced will be sunsetting the venerated Insight this June as the company refocuses its production efforts to its core hybrid models, the Accord, CR-V, and Civic, as it continues to migrate towards 100% EV. MIT engineers have built a robot, now listen to this, for emergency stroke surgeries. It uses a magnet to guide a wire through the vessels of a patient's brain, and the doctor doesn't even have to be there. All they have to be is remote. And as long as the hospital has the machinery, the patient can be prepped, and a qualified surgeon in another big major hospital could telerobotic into the system and perform life-saving surgery. Removing blood clots in the brain is a time-sensitive situation to prevent permanent brain damage and to preserve brain function. Usually it's about an hour. They've got about an hour. So their goal, this MIT device's goal, and this team says, we imagine instead of transporting a patient from a rural area to a large city, they could go to a local hospital where nurses could set up the system. A neurosurgeon in a major medical center could watch live imaging of the patient and use the robot to operate in that golden hour. That's our future dream. And there's a demo video for those of you who want to see it. It's very, very interesting. Very, very odd. But it simulates the blood vessels in your brain, and it shows how the doctor can maneuver this wire to get where he needs to be. It's amazing where we're going. Juul, yes, the vaping company Juul will pay $22.5 million to settle a Washington state lawsuit. Attorney General Bob Ferguson accused the company of marketing its products to minors. Apparently, Juul has agreed to settle this with the state, and it will pay again $22.5 million, undertake measures for underage use and sales to settle a suit filed by the Washington Attorney General. The AG claimed when Juul debuted in 2015, it promoted itself with colorful ads on social media, leading to an increase in nicotine use and addiction in teens. The cigarette folks went through this same thing, so they got to get their pound of flesh out of the vaping companies, that's for sure. Teenagers are going to vape or smoke. They're going to vape or smoke based upon, doesn't matter what kind of advertising there is. The U.S. government's warning of state-supported malware built to attack critical infrastructure. And this is something that they say there's no prevention because there needs to be patches done. FBI and NSA have issued a warning that hackers have developed custom malware to hijack industrial control system, nicknamed InController by Mandiant researchers. The very likely state-backed code breach controllers from Amaron and Schneider Electric that are frequently used for industrial automation. Neither the government nor Mandiant attributed InController to a particular group or a hacking group. However, Mandiant said the malware's capabilities were consistent with Russia's past efforts and its historical interest in compromising industrial control systems. The software is complex enough to have required ample expertise to develop, Reacher said, and it's not very useful for financially motivated hacks. One component, called a tag run, is a reconnaissance tool that provides a detailed look at control processes and production systems. The alert's timing is difficult to know where it comes as Ukraine grapples with the Russian invasion. So, but there's no patch currently for these devices. So, hopefully firewalls will stop that from happening. Amazon expanding its data center site plan for Santa Clara in California. The latest bit barn for Amazon Web Services is to be built near Gilroy, a city in the California Santa Clara County, where the cloud giant is planning a site that will eventually compromise 2 data center buildings, each with a capacity up to 49 megawatt of equipment, plus a security building and backup generator facilities. They're going to have its construction phase would be about 218,000 square feet. First building, and the second building built 4 to 5 years later of the same size. So the county's going through their due diligence on that. A judge has affirmed a jury's verdict in the Tesla racism lawsuit, but reduces the $137 million payout. U.S. District Judge William Orrick rejected Tesla's argument that it isn't liable to Owen Diaz. According to the Wall Street Journal, Diaz is a former black Tesla worker who accused the company of turning a blind eye to racial abuse he suffered while working at its Fremont, California factory. So he was awarded $6.9 million in compensatory damage as well as $130 million in punitive damage. The judge reduced that to 1.5 from 6.9 million, and he reduced $130 million to 13.5. They're going to appeal this. So the victim is going to appeal. So Tesla is going to have to write a check. Reddit rolls out a new search improvement, including a way to find comments. Reddit announced today that it's rolling out the ability to search comments alongside a few other search-related features. With the new comment search function, users no longer have to click on several comments to find threads when looking for a particular conversation. You can now search comments directly via a new comments tab in the search bar, for those of you that are on Reddit. The U.S. military confirms that Interstellar Object hit Earth in 2014. Wow, took a while. Well, apparently some of this data was AKA classified. 2 Harvard researchers who studied this drafted a new paper positioning that an extremely speedy meteorite that blazed a trail through the atmosphere in 2014 was also interstellar. The record of its impact hints at its unusual origins had been hiding in plain sight in a NASA Fireball database for years. So it was reviewed by military scientists, and they agreed. An unusual memo from the U.S. Space Command to NASA Science Head was shared via the USSC Twitter account last week. Basically, corroborates what has been found. So, this thing came from somewhere else, out in the Milky Way. How about that? This guy wants to go find this thing at the bottom of the ocean. Good luck with that. Also, the largest comet ever seen is swinging through our solar system. The solid center is more than twice the width of Rhode Island. Wow. The comet's going to make its closest approach to the sun in 2031. It will remain at least 1 billion miles away, said a co-author of the study. But it won't even cross the orbit of Saturn, so it's certainly no threat to us. Its nucleus, the solid center, which is typically made of ice, rock, and dust, is about 85 miles across. That makes it about 50 times bigger than most known comets, with a mass estimated to be 100,000 times greater than of a typical comet. They say it's just a huge amount of material in just one body. And they looked at it through the Hubble Space Telescope, got some images of it, and therein lies the report. Amazon is hitting U.S. sellers with a 5% fuel and inflation surcharge. That's on top of the fees they're paying Amazon for Amazon's fulfillment services. So everything's going to be going up, everyone. In an email sent to sellers, Amazon said it experienced significant cost increases and absorbed them wherever possible to reduce the impact on its sellers. When it raised its fulfillment fees earlier this year, the company said it more than doubled its U.S. fulfillment capacity since the start of the pandemic, hired over 628,000 people, and increased its starting wage in the United States. It raised its fulfillment fees back then to offset its higher operating costs going forward. Now, Amazon in a statement said that while expected to return to normalcy this year, the fuel and inflation present further challenges. Inflation in the U.S. surged at 8.5% in March, so they're raising its surcharge 5%. So that's a big number. Be prepared to pay more. Should not be a surprise. Chromebook sales have derailed as the market reaches saturation. And total unit sales into the channel fell 7.3% year on year to 77.5 million units the first quarter. Remove Chromebooks from that equation, the market grew 3.3%. So basically, there's too many Chromebooks. And if you're looking for one, you might get a deal. Finally tonight, Wikipedia editors vote to block cryptocurrency donations, but it's just a request. The Wikimedia Foundation is currently reviewing it. They don't have to accept the proposal, but for some reason, the editors don't like the idea of, I guess now they're compensating them. I didn't know that was a thing, to not take cryptocurrency donations. So your guess is as good as mine. As always, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to make sure everyone is reminded to go over to geeknewscentral.com and read the great content on there. There's a new article up there on the site by Jen talking about an unauthorized Fox News account. It's on Truth Social. Of course, our story on Elon Musk, and then talking about Google quietly launching Switch to Android app on iOS, a variety of things. Definitely check out the content over at geeknewscentral.com. We appreciate it when you do. Also, don't forget the easiest way to contact me is geeknews@gmail.com or at geeknews on Twitter. Those of you that have not become an insider yet, please consider doing so. geeknewscentral.com/insider. Become an insider with a $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25 a month donation or one-time donation. We did get a couple of one-time donations this week. I do appreciate those folks that have wrote those donations. I think one was for $30 and the other one was for $5. Every penny counts. We definitely appreciate it when you do that. And again, thank you so much for being here. So here's the deal. Barring a funeral visitation or funeral, I will be with you Monday for the show. Then I go to Vegas. I fly out on Thursday, I think. Wednesday or Thursday. And then I'm there a whole week. So there's a potential for purposely missing 3 shows. So if everything goes good, we will do episode 1599 on Monday. And then when I come back from Vegas, we will do the 1600 episode of this show. So it's kind of a weird schedule right now. But I am also going out to Austin. So there's going to be some disruption of the show here for a little bit. And maybe I'll have some guests host in. I'm not sure. But definitely 1600's on me. I do thank you all for being here. Thanks for being part of the family. Thanks for staying subscribed. COVID is, while it's still out there, the world is back to normal. Thus, I am traveling for business again. So I definitely appreciate it. Also, maybe coming out to New Jersey for just a day in June. And it looks like it might disrupt some of my initial thoughts on vacation time, but I'll get it figured out. But it's been my pleasure bringing the podcast today. We'll see you back here on Monday, God willing. Everyone take care. We'll see you next time. Everyone take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.